Welcome to episode 10 of Marketing Under the Microscope. My name is Jonathan Posidis. I'm a marketing consultant and a marketer myself. I study marketing, successful marketing campaigns, and this is what this channel is about. So today we're looking at someone that is basically a billionaire, although, publicly not announced as a billionaire. He's worth around 400 million supposedly, but Forbes and all these estimators never get it right because people have investments, properties, and things like that. It wouldn't be far-fetched to say that this man, if he's not a billionaire yet, he will be one. So this is the founder of Khan Academy, and this guy's name is Sal Khan. Okay, so if you don't know what Khan Academy is, then I don't know, you probably never went to college. Now, Khan Academy is this, and you would have seen this style of YouTube tutorials, right? And you probably don't know about Sal Khan too much, but Sal Khan is the founder of this Khan Academy. He also has an app now. This is an example. I was recently going through this financial literacy course. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't understand finances. It just means that I value the basics. And when you're studying, and if you're a person that values education, which is what I do, I value education. I teach a lot of people. I promote educators online for a living, let's say. So I really value education, and going through the basics is super, super important, okay? So don't ever think that you're too good to learn the basics. It's always good to go back through the absolute basics of whatever it is you're in. I'm in business. For me, finances are very important. We're going through this. I went through his AI course recently, through the absolute basics of AI. Super important. See, some people are just way too arrogant. They think they know everything. They don't need the basics. They think they can just watch some guy on YouTube and that's it. But you need to go through the basics, or they think they'll just learn, through experience. And although that's true, you do learn a lot through experience. You can shortcut a lot of that learning, that experiential learning, through theoretical learning, through actually looking at examples and through going through these courses and things like that. Like, that's very important. If you look at Ray Dalio's book, The Changing World Order, he talks about the predictors of success for a country or a nation state or a civilization. And he says that the most important one is education. Okay? And that's the same thing in real life too. The people that get educated, on average, earn a lot more than the people who are not educated. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to college necessarily, although some college degrees are very much worth it, at least to teach you how to learn. But I'm saying you have to be constantly learning, whether that's through talking to other people that are ahead of you, whether it's like studying campaigns, like let's say you're in marketing, I'm looking at campaigns, successful people in the past, whether that be through experience, but you always have to be learning. Maybe it's mentorships, maybe it's going and networking with people, maybe it's buying people's courses, maybe it's buying consultations from people. Whatever it is, you have to constantly be upskilling and constantly be acquiring new knowledge. I know a lot of people like to ignore that. A lot of gurus online like to talk that way, but they don't have 400 million. They don't have the money that Sal Khan has, okay? So until they have that, we'll listen to them then. But they don't have it. So, and a lot of the stuff they say as well, they don't want you to know everything that they know, so that you don't climb the ladder like they climbed it. They basically break the ladder. You'll often see successful people, they'll give out false information to try and prevent you from getting up to their level. It is what it is. That's human nature. But anyway, Sal Khan. He has a brilliant app. I've been going through this again. I hadn't seen this app in so long, or this piece of software. So basically you go through it, you learn your modules, you do some quizzes, and then you level up, right? I started this yesterday, I'm level 4 now. It doesn't mean much, but still. So anyway, we're gonna be talking about his marketing and what made him so successful, his branding, his strategy. That's it basically. Okay, so Sal himself, we'll go back to his picture here. Sal was born in Louisiana in 1976. His parents are Indian and Bangladeshi. And he has, I think, 3 degrees in MIT, one of them being a Bachelor's of Science in Mathematics. And then also he ended up going and doing a master's in business in Harvard. Okay, so he's a very well-educated person, obviously. And he educates people, okay? So originally, Khan Academy, it started as him teaching his cousins online, remotely, basically. And he would make videos on Yahoo initially, and then he started uploading them to YouTube. And those videos ended up catching on. And then he officially founded Khan Academy in 2008. That's when he started posting, right? So the financial crisis in 2008. And since then, he's taken off. I mean, we're looking at it here, 9 million subscribers on YouTube. Okay, we're looking at 760,000 followers almost on Twitter. Looking at Instagram, 304,000 followers on Instagram. And by the way, you can see where the focus goes. If you're a marketer, you're staying sharp now. You can see where education platforms or educators actually do better on. Just by looking at those numbers, you're seeing that number one, we have YouTube. Number two, we have Twitter. And number three, we have Instagram by follower size. Okay, so where do people want to get educated? Number one is on YouTube. We can also look at Facebook, things like that later on. Or you can look at them at your spare time. I don't want to start opening up my Facebook pages because I don't know what it is, guys, with Facebook. It seems like it's a dating app. I just open the thing and I get a ton of requests from women, and which is fine, I guess, but it's just too much. I don't want to open it, and then it just looks like it's just a bunch of women adding me and stuff like that. It's yeah, it's very strange. But anyway, moving on. The reason why Sal is so good at his marketing and why it should give you some hope as well is because he didn't go for anything too fancy. Okay, we can look at his formula. It's very simple, very easy to replicate if you're an educator. It just is do very simple, relatable content for a long period of time. Some of you are educators, and I've had clients as well who think that they need to be viral by day one or the first week, or they upload for a month and they think that that's it, right? You're rich, you're gonna have a bunch of people paying you money. Not how it works, not how it works. You need consistency and you need a lot of relatability. Here's another thing as well about Sal, what he does perfectly is, and my friend Mitch Herman, you can look him up, he's on YouTube as well. He has a business and he installs windows into homes that are distressed. So let's say there's an accident with a window gets broken or a door gets broken into, someone crashes to a garage door. He comes in, he fixes it. And he said to me, he's like, Jonathan, no one's really gonna argue with me on prices when their door is broken into. It's a need, is what he's referring to. That's what he's insinuating. It's a need. He's not selling a want, he's selling a need. And the same thing with education. Education is a need for all civilization. For all the humans in the world, it's a need. It's not a want, it's a need. You need to get educated, okay? And that's why it's so relatable. So now Sal is reaching hundreds of millions of people, hundreds of millions. So he's giving people what they need. They need an education, okay? All the governments know that if their people are more educated, they'll get more tax money because it's an incentive for the government, okay? Everybody needs an education. And so Sal is not necessarily selling. Well, he is, I guess, through YouTube ad revenue, he's making money. But he's selling, so to speak, for lack of a better word, a need, okay? And if you're an educator, you have to understand the stuff that people need. In my case, I'm a marketer. Personal brands, businesses, whoever's online, they need marketing. They need traffic. Okay, it's a very easy thing to sell when people need it. It's not like you want traffic. Oh, I'd like some traffic. No. You want to survive in business, you need traffic. You need people knowing. You're an online entrepreneur, nobody knows about you, you're kind of screwed. You need traffic. You need people to know about you, okay? Things are easier that way. So if you're an educator, identify the need of people. Identify what people need and focus on that, okay? Very important. Now, you'll get a lot of advice online of people saying you need editing, right? They'll tell you that you just need a bunch of editing for your videos. And while editing can work, and let me just tell you, I have over 2 billion views on social media. My team has gotten that for our clients, over 2 billion. I think we're close to 3 billion now. Editing is important, yes, for things like clips, short clips and things like that. But for YouTube education specifically, you don't need that much editing. I'll tell you why, and Sal does this perfectly. The reason why you don't need a crazy amount of editing for your niche topic is because people relate to you more. If people relate to you more, they're gonna stick around. They're gonna trust you more. Okay? If you add in a bunch of editing, sound effects, all that kind of stuff, music, blah, blah, you're more like a movie, whereas this is education. So you don't need a bunch of editing for education. If you look at a guy named William Brown, he's kind of blowing up right now in a very niche space. He teaches coaches how to coach. Okay, kind of funny, but anyway. William Brown here. If you watch any of his videos, and he's a great guy to listen to about personal branding and as an educator. So it's mostly about monetizing this guy. And you can see his videos get 5.6K views, 4K, things like that. I'm sure he's got more popular videos. Some of these are probably 500,000. There you go. Some very simple ones. But his clients are massive YouTubers, massive educators. And he teaches people how to educate online. And his editing is almost non-existent. He literally clicks the play button or the record button and then the stop button at the very end. 35 minutes speaking, 54 minutes speaking, an hour, whatever. And he does that consistently. And this guy makes,
Hey guys.
I don't want to say how much he makes, but I saw one video. Look, he said here, 16.4 million over 5 years, he said. So and I think he's doing multiple high six figures per month. So he shows just right there that you don't need a bunch of editing. You need to be consistent. So he'll upload, I think he uploads like twice a week or once a week, I'm not sure, but he uploads. He never misses an upload, he says. So it's very, very, very important. So understand that for educational content, it's much more about consistency, relatability, trust over a long period of time. It's not about just going viral, okay? The guys that are super controversial in the education space, they don't necessarily make all the money. You think they do, but they don't necessarily make all the money. Okay, so it's much more about that. Now, another thing we can learn about Sal is that he is very much mission driven. Okay, we'll go back to Sal here. So we go back to his YouTube. Actually, we'll go back to his YouTube. Where are you? Yeah, there you are. Okay, Khan Academy. You can see here the mission statement. Khan Academy is a nonprofit, we already know, providing a free world-class education for anyone. So this is the mission statement. And when you have a mission, people are much more likely to get behind it. I say this all the time. You need a mission. When you're speaking to your staff, if you're trying to grow something, for example, I have a couple of educational platforms or a couple of communities, educational communities for Muay Thai. Muay Thai is a sport that my brother and I used to be very involved in. We grew some of the biggest names in that sport on social media. You can look up a guy called Liam Harrison. He publicly has said that we've gotten him past 1 million followers on Instagram, let's say. We work with a guy called Nico Carrillo as well. We own these Muay Thai communities, or we promote these Muay Thai communities. We own some of them. Our mission statement is, we think Muay Thai is great for self-development and great for people. And we want to get as many people involved into Muay Thai as possible. Okay? And so when I talk to my staff, I always tell them, like, this is the mission, guys. We're trying to get people involved in Muay Thai. We're trying to get people to become fitter, trying to get their confidence level up. We think Muay Thai, from our experience, has been probably a fundamental thing for that. It was a foundational skill. It was a foundational activity that really helped us do that and take a lot of the lessons from Muay Thai applying to business, and that has helped us. And so we think it can help other people too. And it's the same way with other educators that we promoted. See, we like to work with people with missions. And if you don't have a mission, that's very difficult because you can be completely all over the place without a mission. My mission, for example, I want to advance humanity forward. That's my mission. And so when I'm looking at things, and sometimes I'll kind of skew away from the mission, and that's kind of bad, but I try and focus the content. Okay, how can I help the world? How can I push it forward? Maybe if I help people with marketing, that can help businesses. With business comes innovation, because there's more money moving around. Entrepreneurship, it breeds innovation, right? Very simple thing to connect. And so I do a lot of self-help stuff for free. Didn't charge any money for all the self-help stuff. I do have one course that I sell currently. I sell consultations as well. I guess I have to make money, right? I'm only human. But I sell a course on how to build personal brands and how to build brands for other people. It doesn't have to be personal brands. How to, basically hack social media. I call it brand hacking. I teach people how to do that. That, to me, the mission there is to help people make their first $100,000 online. To have a location independent income. Things like that. And I think that if I can help people do that, that pushes humanity forward. If I can give people good information, that pushes humanity forward. If I can dispel some of the bad information that's out there, that pushes humanity forward. If I make these videos for people, hopefully at least it influences one person, makes them better in some way. Maybe it will put them on an educational path. And so that's why I like. And I've said no to a lot of money that pushes humanity backwards. Just said no to a lot of money from certain fields that I don't need to get into, but I said no to a lot of money, a lot of opportunities that would be against that. mission, but because it's my mission statement, I don't go against it. Okay? So having a mission is super, super important for marketing. You'll often notice guys like Elon Musk. Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone. You'll notice guys like Elon Musk, they have a mission for every company that they have. It's very important because right now in the modern world, smart, educated people want to get behind missions. They don't want to just work for anything. If you offer somebody here, I'll give you 10 grand for a month for this or whatever. They don't care nearly as much if you said to them, right, you're going to get paid this, but you're going to be behind this mission and we're going to get this done. Like that's a lot more exciting if you're actually in the fight with them, right? You're pushing something forward. He's helping hundreds of millions of people get educated. So many people would have failed college, their exams, if it wasn't for Sal. And it's a non-profit as well, right? And he still made a ton of money from it. So he prioritized the education, prioritized the mission, and still made a ton of money. As I said, he's probably a billionaire right now. And the same with some of these other guys. I know a guy, I personally donated to this guy before. He's an Indian guy. But some of these Indians, they get a bad rap. Sorry. These Indians, they get a bad rap online because obviously it's a massive population. There's going to be quite a few people that stand out for certain things that, are quite antisocial, let's say. But there's some great Indian people out there. There's some fantastic people, especially in the education space, guys like Naval Ravikant. Some of these guys that went into the States. This is an Indian guy in Calcutta, I believe. And I donated to this guy. This guy helped me. This guy taught me more than my own professors in the Western University. I went to a university in Galway in Ireland. My background is in STEM, so I studied STEM for quite a bit of time. I did microbiology was what I focused on, but I did all the other ones. I did computer science, physics, chemistry. My master's was in neuropharmacology. Dropped out of that with a couple of months to go into business. Biology is a massive one, and this guy helped me pass my exams. I actually ended up getting the top achievable grades in the year. And so it was from this guy. I learned a lot from him. So I donated to him. And, if you prioritize education, you prioritize helping people, others will help you too. Just because he helped me pass my exams, I sent him money. I didn't have to send him money. He was already making ad revenue or whatever, but I wanted to. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation got behind this. They were one of the original supporters of this, the funders. And you can say what you want about Bill Gates, whatever. But he sometimes backs some very nice things, okay? Some things, might be damaging for the world. I think he does with good intentions. I spoke to a guy who helps farmers in Thailand, in Chiang Mai, which is where I lived only about 6 months ago. He helps farmers learn through VR. So he'll get them VR goggles, those big Oculus ones, and they'll end up learning how to farm effectively. And Bill Gates is one of the funders of that project. So he's not all bad. He's not all bad, and he wants to do good, I think, in the world, Bill Gates. I'm sure that he's a shark as well, obviously in business. He's got probably a high psychopathy, but I'm sure at least with the wife, Melinda, or the ex-wife, he try to do good for the world. The women come in, they find these psychopaths, they turn them into they try and change them. So often these women are quite good. Sal's background as well is quite interesting. He's not just an educator. He started out in a hedge fund and very much like a strategist type of guy. So he's able to turn this into a proper nonprofit business, I guess, but still. He's able to think about systems. He's able to understand money, financing, all that kind of stuff. I believe Khan Academy has 128 million under management in assets. That's quite a lot of money, quite a lot of assets, right? So there you go. Now, the reason why I'm making this video, guys, is to obviously educate you and, encourage those of you who are educators. I want you guys to do well. I want you guys to see that you can make a lot of money from education. Those of you who are interested in marketing, I will have a community open for marketing specifically. For now, you can follow me on one of the social media platforms, Jonathan Besides on Instagram. There's also a Jonathan's Library on Telegram. There should be a link down below. There should be a link.me link as well. Maybe in the comments, I should have something pinned. You can go follow me on some of those platforms and I'll announce when I'm launching. It's either going to be a free one, a free community for marketing, or it's going to be a very low cost, low fee one. That's coming out soon. So make sure that you're you're following, and we'll have some very good information on that. I'll have some good educators hopefully taking part in that as well with time. My network is quite good. I think for my age right now, I have a lot of marketers, a lot of very professional people that could potentially teach. So we'll see how that goes. No big promises just yet, but make sure that you're following me on some of those platforms and I'll announce it then. So cheers. If you enjoyed that, check out some of these other videos, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.